Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's time to dive into the biggest story swirling around the Dallas Cowboys as we inch closer to training camp. The excitement is palpable, the countdown is on, and America's team is gearing up for another thrilling season. But hold the phone, there's a major storyline brewing that's got Cowboys Nation buzzing with anticipation and maybe just a touch of concern. Our second-round pick, the explosive edge rusher Donovan Eziraku, remains unsigned as training camp looms just days away. That's right, folks. The only rookie yet to ink his deal is the guy we're all hyped to see, tearing it up on the field. So, what's the holdup? Is this a cause for panic? Or is it just business as usual in the wild world of NFL contract negotiations? Buckle up, because we're diving deep into this drama, breaking it all down for you, and giving you the full scoop on what this means for the Cowboys' future. Let's get into it. First off, let's set the stage. Training camp is right around the corner, kicking off on July 22, and the Dallas Cowboys are ready to hit the ground running. The pads are about to start popping, the playbook is getting dusted off, and the team is looking to build on last season's momentum. Fans are dreaming of a deep playoff run, maybe even a Super Bowl with stars like Micah Parsons leading the charge. But amidst all this excitement, there's one lingering question mark. Why hasn't Donovan Eziraku, our 44th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, signed his rookie contract yet? It's the kind of storyline that can make even the most die-hard Cowboys fan raise an eyebrow. After all, when you're the only rookie in the class without a deal, it's bound to turn heads. But before you start hitting the panic button, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. This isn't a crisis, it's a negotiation, and it's one that's playing out in a fascinating way across the entire NFL. So what's going on here? Why is Eziraku's contract still unsigned? To understand this, we need to zoom out and look at the broader landscape of NFL rookie contracts, especially for second-round picks. For years, the rookie contract system has been pretty straightforward. First-round picks. They get the red carpet treatment, fully guaranteed 4-year deals, no questions asked. It's been the gold standard since the NFL's rookie wage scale was introduced in 2011. But second-rounders? That's where things get a little murkier. Historically, second-round contracts have typically included 2 years of guaranteed money, with a possibility of a third year if the player's agent negotiates hard. The fourth year? That's usually a toss-up, with partial guarantees or no guarantees at all. It's a system that's worked for years, but this off-season, the ground beneath the second-round market has shifted in a big way, and it's causing ripples that are directly impacting Eziraku's situation. Let's talk about the game changers. Jaden Higgins, selected 34th overall by the Houston Texans, and Carson Swinger, picked 33 RD by the Cleveland Browns. These two second-rounders made history this offseason by securing fully guaranteed 4-year contracts. That's right, 4 years, fully locked in, no strings attached. This is a massive departure from the norm, and it sent shockwaves through NFL front offices and agent circles alike. Never before have second-round picks at this stage of the draft received such ironclad deals. These contracts have effectively rewritten the rulebook, setting a new precedent that's got every team, including the Cowboys, rethinking their approach. Suddenly, the expectations for second-round deals are sky-high, and agents are licking their chops, knowing they've got leverage like never before. For Donovan Eziraku and his camp, this is a golden opportunity to cash in, but it's also creating a standoff with the Cowboys, who are playing it cool and refusing to rush into a deal that could set a costly precedent for years to come. Now, let's be clear, the Cowboys aren't dragging their feet out of spite or incompetence. This is a calculated move by one of the most savvy front offices in the league. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and the rest of the Dallas Brain Trust are known for their conservative approach to contract negotiations, especially when it comes to rookies. They're not about to throw out a fully guaranteed 4-year deal just because the Texans and Browns decided to break the mold. Instead, They're waiting for the market to settle. Think of it like a high-stakes poker game. Nobody wants to show their hand too early. By holding off, the Cowboys are letting other teams make the first move, giving them a clearer picture of what a fair deal looks like for a player selected at pick 44. Meanwhile, Ezeraku's camp is doing the smart thing. They're watching the contracts of players drafted just before and after him to gauge what kind of deal they can realistically demand. It's a classic leverage play, and both sides are playing it to perfection. To get a sense of where Ezeraku's deal might land, let's look at some comparisons. Take Jackson Powers Johnson, who was selected at the exact same spot, 44 the overall, in the 2023 NFL Draft. His contract with the Las Vegas Raiders included 3 fully guaranteed years, with some partial guarantees in the 4th year. That's a solid benchmark for Ezeraku's camp to point to. Now, let's look at this year's draft class. Players like Kamari Lacey, Max Milton, and Jonathan Brooks, all selected in the mid-40s range, have signed deals with a mix of full and partial guarantees for their 3rd and 4th years. Some got 3 years fully locked in, others got a bit less. Based on this, it's reasonable to expect that Ezeraku's deal will likely include 3 fully guaranteed years, with a chance for some guaranteed money in year 4. But a fully guaranteed 4-year contract? That's a tough sell for the Cowboys, who have a long history of sticking to their financial guns. They're not going to budge unless the market forces their hand. Here's where it gets interesting. The Cowboys aren't the only ones in this waiting game. Other unsigned second-rounders, like Alfred Collins, pick 43, and Trey Harris, pick 55, are also holding out for their deals. Once those contracts are signed, they'll provide critical data points for Ezeraku's negotiations. For example, if Collins, who was drafted 1 spot before Ezeraku, signs a deal with 3 fully guaranteed years, that's likely the floor for Ezeraku's contract. If Collins gets less, say, 2 guaranteed years with partial guarantees in year 3, the Cowboys can use that as leverage to keep Ezeraku's deal in check. On the flip side, if a player like the Seahawks pick at 35 signs a deal with a fully guaranteed 3rd year or even some guarantees in year 4, it could tip the scales in Ezeraku's favor. It's a domino effect, and every contract signed in the coming days will bring us closer to a resolution. Let's take a moment to address the elephant in the room, the Houston Texans. They're the ones who started this whole mess by giving Jaden Higgins a fully guaranteed 4-year deal at pick 34. That move raised eyebrows across the NFL, and you can bet front offices from New York to Los Angeles were whispering, "What are they doing?" By breaking ranks and setting a new standard, the Texans have put every team drafting after them in a tough spot. Agents are now pointing to that deal and saying, if Higgins got 4 years fully guaranteed, why shouldn't my guy? It's a fair question, but it's also put teams like the Cowboys in a bind. They don't want to overpay and set a precedent that could haunt them in future drafts, but they also don't want to risk alienating a promising young player like Ezeraku. It's a delicate balance, and Dallas is navigating it with the precision of a tightrope walker. Now, let's shift gears and talk about what this all means for Ezeraku on the field. The good news: this contract drama isn't affecting his preparation one bit. Ezeraku has already been out there with the team, participating in OTAs and minicamp after signing the necessary waivers. There's no holdout, no diva behavior, no cryptic social media posts stirring up drama. This kid is locked in and ready to work. And let me tell you, Cowboys fans, this guy is worth getting excited about. When the Cowboys drafted Ezeraku at pick 44, I was jumping out of my seat. This was a steal, a player I had ranked 28th the overall on my draft board, a guy who brings speed, athleticism, and relentless energy to the edge. During his final season at Boston College, he racked up an eye-popping 21 tackles for loss and 16.5 sacks in a Power 5 conference. That's the kind of production that screams future star. But let's pump the brakes on the hype train for a second. I've seen some fans out there predicting double-digit sacks for Ezeraku in his rookie year, And while I love the enthusiasm, that's probably a stretch. To put things in perspective, Jared Verse, a top 20 talent in last year's draft, managed just 5 sacks as a rookie. Ezeraku, as talented as he is stepping into a crowded defensive line room headlined by Micah Parsons, one of the most dominant pass rushers in the game. In year 1 ascending, Ezeraku is likely to be a rotational player, seeing snaps on third downs and in pass rushing situations. If he can deliver 4-6 sacks, a handful of tackles for loss, and consistent pressure on the quarterback, that's a fantastic rookie season. The goal for year 1 isn't to dominate the stat sheet, it's to show flashes of brilliance, develop his skills, and lay the foundation for a long-term role as a starter. Looking at the bigger picture, Ezeraku's potential fit with the Cowboys is mouthwatering. Imagine this, it's 2026, and the Cowboys have moved on from Dante Fowler, who's a free agent after this season. They've locked in Micah Parsons with a massive long-term extension, cementing him as the cornerstone of the defense. Suddenly, you've got Parsons and Ezeraku as your edge-rushing duo of the future, with Marshawn Kneeland stepping in as a run-stuffing strong side linebacker. That's a young, fast, and versatile front seven that could wreak havoc for years to come. If Ezeraku develops into the Cowboys' number 2 pass rusher behind Parsons, that's a home run for a second-round pick. The contract drama? It's just a footnote in the grand scheme of things. This kid has the tools to be a game changer, and a few weeks of negotiations won't change that. So, what happens next? We're in a holding pattern, but it's not going to last forever. As soon as the remaining unsigned second-rounders start signing their deals, the dominoes will fall. The Seahawks pick at 35 is a big one to watch if that contract includes a fully guaranteed third year or partial guarantees in year 4. It could set the tone for Ezeraku's deal. If Seattle plays hardball and keeps the guarantees minimal, the Cowboys will have more leverage to do the same. Either way, we're talking about a matter of days, maybe a week or 2 at most. This isn't a holdout that's going to drag into the regular season. Cowboys fans, I know you want everyone locked in before camp starts, but trust the process. This is one of those rare situations where nobody's really in the wrong. The Cowboys are being cautious. Ezeraku's camp is doing their due diligence, and the market is still settling after the Texans threw a wrench into things. Let's talk about the stakes. The Cowboys are coming off a 12-5 season in 2024, with a trip to the NFC divisional round. The expectations are sky high for 2025, and the defense is expected to carry the load. Micah Parsons is a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and the addition of Ezeraku could give Dallas one of the most fearsome pass-rushing tandems in the league. The secondary is young and talented, with players like Darren Bland and Trayvon Diggs locking down the back end. If Ezeraku can step up as a rookie, this defense has the potential to be elite. The offense, led by Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, will do its part, but it's the defense that could push this team over the hump and into serious Super Bowl contention. That's why this contract situation, while not a crisis, is so intriguing. It's a glimpse into the future of a defense that could dominate for years. For now, Cowboys Nation needs to stay patient. This deal will get done, and when it does, Ezeraku will be out there with his teammates, ready to chase that elusive Super Bowl trophy. The kid's already shown he's all in, practicing and grinding through OTAs and minicamp. The only thing left to settle is the money, and that's just a matter of time. So what do you think, Cowboys fans? How many sacks is Ezeraku going to rack up in his rookie year? Is he going to be an instant breakout star? Or will this be more of a developmental season? Drop your predictions in the comments below. I'm dying to hear how high you all are on this guy. And if you're loving this deep dive into the Cowboys off-season drama, smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our Cowboys updates. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and every single one of you gets us closer. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one.